Good afternoon, this is Jake Wire at Blue Coast Realty. Giving you a quick video from Greenfield Lake area in Wilmington, North Carolina, and this is just 2 weeks after Hurricane Florence has hit the area. And I just wanted to kind of share something that I've taken away from this whole experience, this catastrophic experience. And that is, as you can see behind me, I mean, this is 2 weeks. The city is working really hard. Volunteers are working really hard to just clean up this mess that's kind of left behind from the storm. The one thing that I've really taken away from this, though, is I learned a lot about hurricanes and category 1 through 5 and what that means, and really what that category 1 through 5 means, and what people, it sounds so bad on the news when you hear category 5 versus category 1 versus category 2. Hurricane Flo was just a category 2 by the time it hit landfall. But the thing about categories is it just deals with, it explains catastrophic wind damage, is really what that scale is. And Hurricane Flo gusted up to 100 plus miles per hour. I mean, it took down enormous trees, as you can see behind me, all over the city. And Wilmington is a tree city, so they really pride themselves on having just beautiful live oaks and a pine canopy, and it really is something that's beautiful with the city, and it did a lot of damage. It took a lot of trees down. But the part that I really took away from this was certain pockets of the city and in the county of New Hanover and Hampstead and the surrounding areas of Brunswick. They really took a lot of flood damage weeks after the hurricane was gone. Rivers were still cresting, and pockets of neighborhoods that had never historically flooded, not in flood zones, 5 feet of water, up to the doors. So, and we've been kind of volunteering, spending our time with some of these communities and helping out clean these houses out. And these people didn't have flood insurance. They're not in a flood zone. And so they never had flood insurance, and this has historically never happened in those areas. But the thing I would take away from this, and I'm going to be telling all of my clients that be looking to move to the area, is we have a lot of bodies of water here. We have the Atlantic Ocean, we have the Cape Fear River, we have all the tributaries, tons of streams, low-lying areas. And if you don't live in a flood zone, if your house is not in a flood zone, you don't have to have flood insurance. You can get a loan without flood insurance. However, a lot of these communities were in that situation, did not have flood insurance, and now are dealing with trying to get FEMA to help out, pay for the damages. And if they had just had a flood policy in place, they'd be in a lot better situation than they are currently, and a little bit more control of their own destiny. And the interesting thing about flood insurance is usually when people hear they're not in a flood zone and flood insurance is not required by the lender, they don't look into it any further. But if you're not in a flood zone, you can get flood insurance significantly cheaper than if you are in a flood zone. So something I would take away from this is, if you are looking to move to this area, or really any area that might have events like this happen, it might be worth asking your insurance adjuster exactly how much it would cost to have a flood policy in place. You might be surprised at how cheap it is monthly, and can you imagine the peace of mind when something like this happens and you had the foresight to add that to your policy, and so you don't have to worry about, you add that to your policy with your wind and hail insurance, and you have flood insurance, and you're pretty much covered. You're going to be okay in a situation like this. You're going to be put back as whole as you can get. You're going to lose a lot of pictures and a lot of things like that, but that's something that I really took away from this, is I will be recommending to all my clients to go and look into getting flood insurance regardless of if you're in a flood zone. So take that away. I hope that's helpful to someone. I hope that someone hears this and signs up, and it really saves someone down the line. But it's been great to see the community pull together. It's been great to see the outpour of national help that's come here. And the city really is pretty much back up and running, just weeks after this has happened, and it's probably going to be, for the most part in most areas, completely back to normal within 1 month of a catastrophic event, the biggest hurricane that people say have been through here in the last 12 to 15 years, damage-wise. So I hope that's helpful. I hope someone takes takes this video and you know, takes an extra step and looks into flood insurance, and it really helps someone out one day down the line. But I just wanted to put that out there. Again, this is Jake Wire with Blue Coast Realty. Feel free to reach out. Happy to help out, answer any questions you might have regarding this area, or you know, what you need to do as far as talking to your agent about getting flood insurance. So they take care of each other out there. It's been amazing to be part of this community and kind of see it pull together, and just be good to each other and help out who you can.